Hello everyone! It's an awesome day today. We're celebrating 500 subscribers! Yay! Thank you everyone for your support on my channel so far. You guys have been awesome. Please recommend this channel to your friends and family who's interested in Volvos or in cars generally, really, who's interested in modifying cars and finding out about cars that I modify. Please do recommend my channel to them. Thank you guys. And to the topic of today's video. So today we're gonna do a full timing belt service on the s60R that we bought, because when we actually fixed it up, started driving it, we noticed that there was a dripping of coolant on the ground. We couldn't figure out where it was coming from first. Then we kind of figured it comes from the timing cover there. So we figured it out. It's water pump leaking. So we went to IPD and they hooked us up with gave us a discount on the kit, on the water pump kit, with the timing belt and the pulleys, the tensioner and all that. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. So I'm heading over to the shop right now, to where the car is, and we're gonna get started. Stay tuned. All right, so here we have the water pump from IPD, ASIN water pump, and then here we should have the timing kit with the timing belt stuff. Couldn't find a knife, so I have to use a tool. I want to show you guys something. So there's one thing that IPD told me. There's a difference in the tensioner, the timing belt tensioner. They have two different types of tensioners. There's one that we got, this one, the newer style, that pretty much has these, as you guys can see, the two arms, long arms. The older style has two shorter arms and then also pins kind of pointed this way as well, like that way right there on the tension itself. So I don't have a sticker. It's supposed to be, depending on what kind of engine code you have. The engine code is supposed to be on the timing cover, and we don't have the sticker on it. There's a spot where somebody peeled it off, or it just came off on its own. So first things we have to do now is remove the covers and take a look at the tensioner, or just really look at the water pump. It has the engine code on it as well. So yeah, that's the first things we're gonna do. And as you guys can see right there is the different pump. You see those arms? I mean the tensioner, excuse me. Ouch. So I have to go get another one. Alright, so now that we got the right tensioner, we're gonna line up the marks, the timing marks on the camshaft, both of the camshafts, with the marks on the cover. So we're gonna put the cover back where it was, right there, and then clip it in on both sides. And then same thing, we're gonna take the pulley off the crankshaft and also make sure we're lined up there on the marks, and take the belt off. All right, so now we're gonna drain the coolant. Should be right here in this hole. Yeah, there's a plug right there. You'll just listen out and drain the coolant out of there, because we're doing the water pump, and we just recently pretty much put in new fluid, so we're gonna reuse it. All right, so the obvious one, you have to take the serpentine belt off, and now I'm gonna take the crankshaft pulley off, because behind it there's a gear that the timing belt is on, and on that gear there's a mark, timing mark, along on these camshafts. Once we get that off, I'll explain how to line up the marks. So now for the timing marks, we'll put the cover back on how it was on there, clip it in on both sides. There's two clips on each side of the cover right there, and then on the cover there's, let me get a flashlight so you guys can see. All right, there's timing marks in the cover right there, on the cover itself, and then also on this side as well. So I'm gonna turn the crank with a 30mm socket, turn it clockwise until I get those aligned, and then I'm gonna take the nut off, that crank pulley, and take the pulley off, and make sure the crankshaft one is lined up too. Alright, on the crankshaft, you see that notch right there? And there's also on the block itself, you're gonna have to feel it out. It's underneath kind of that pulley. There's a notch as well. I'm gonna take the belt off and the pulley off. I'm gonna show you guys where that mark is. I also lined up the top ones with the cover. You have to put the cover back, and there's a notches you're gonna see on each camshaft, and you have to line them up with the cover marks right there. And then I also just marked the belt myself on each tooth on this camshaft and that one as well. And then on the new belt, I'm gonna just line it up and mark it, so you just make it easier to tell if it's all lined up properly. All right, you see the notch right there on the crankshaft pulley, or whatever where the crankshaft pulley bolts, and then there's a notch over there on the block. It's lined up, and there's on each tooth there's 2 marks in between the teeth on the crankshaft right there. On each of these teeth there's 2 notches, and that notch is supposed to be in between those teeth. All right, so we're also going to replace the idler pulley on the timing belt, and then also a water pump. There's like 6 10mm bolts all around it, so we're going to unbolt it and replace that because that's seeping. All right, so I got the water pump off. You see there's some left over. There's the seal right there that doesn't exist anymore in between that bolt and the pin. There was no seal, so that's where it was seeping. So I'm gonna scrub that seal off, I mean the gasket off with a razor blade, and sand it down to get all the residue out, so we can put the new seal on the clean surface. Now that we cleaned off everything on the engine, I bought this gasket maker. It's special for water pump and thermostat housing. I like to put it on the gasket on both sides, on the engine side and on this side, just to prevent it from leaking. I mean, this car being at what, 110,000 miles, this probably is gonna last it for the rest of its life. But yeah, I just put it on this side over it, and then on that side as well. This helps keep the gasket on the water pump and also seal better once you install it. All right, so now that we got the belt all lined up, the marks on top, on the bottom, I discarded the marks that I made with a crayon. Pretty much, yeah, I just went and discarded them and just lined up, made sure that the marks lined up on the crankshaft and the camshafts. And then after I put on the belt, I put tension on it, you know, adjusted the tensioner right there. As you see, the middle piece is supposed to be in the center, in between, tightens, and then I spin the crankshaft 2 times for this to spin once, and then after that I line up the marks again and double check the marks on the crankshaft, also on the camshafts, and we're all good. So now we're just gonna put it together. All right, so to tension the tensioner, you need a hex like this right here, and then you pretty much tighten it clockwise until this piece right here is in between the 2 earpieces here in the center right there, lined up. And then you get a 12mm wrench, and then there's a bolt, and then you tighten the bolt while holding this in place, holding this in the center right here. All right, so we test drove it, all good. Doesn't seem like it's leaking. Yep, no leaks, everything is dry, the coolant level is good, we got all the air out of the cooling system, everything is on. The only thing I noticed is the cap on the power steering pump is leaking. I don't think this is the original cap. I think this is the wrong one, because it leaks, or the seal is bad on the cap. I don't know, one or the other. All right, so we finally finished the timing belt service on the s60R. This was my first time doing a timing belt service. Well, timing belt, water pump, pulleys, and the tensioner and the idler pulley on the Volvo. I never done one on the Volvo, but I mean, I've done it on other cars, a couple of them, not many, but because there's mostly I was working mainly on the newer cars at the shop. So all of them are timing chains, not timing belts anymore. But yeah, so we finished it. Everything is good. I had to do some research myself to find out where the timing marks are on the camshafts and the crankshaft and stuff. So this was new to me too, and I just decided to kind of just document it. Maybe it'll help somebody out. If you guys have any questions, you know, comment comments below, and then I'll do my best to reply to them. So yeah, recommend my channel to your friends, like and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys. We finally hit 500 subscribers. I'm gonna go for 1,000 now. Thank you guys for your support, and hope you guys enjoy. See you next time.